Okay, so in terms of the Ruby installation, we are now looking at Ruby 3.1.0 as of early November 2022. You can see from our GitHub documentation under the Setup Ruby section, you can see the URL here. testevolve.github.io/docs/spark/setup/setup-ruby. It's going to tell me that the first thing I need to do is install something called RVM. All right, so I am going to open up the rvm.io page, rvm.io/rvm/install. I'm going to find on the page for this this installation command for the latest stable version. So let's just grab that. Let's pop open a fresh terminal window, and I'm just going to paste in that command to install the latest stable version of RVM. I'm going to enter that, and we'll let that run. Okay, we're back. RVM has been installed. It's also installed a most recent version of Ruby for me. So I've got Ruby 3.0.0. It's not actually the latest or the one that I want in this particular instance. However, if we come back to the guide on our GitHub documentation, it says I need to close this terminal window, open a new one, and then I'm going to run this final command just to get the very specific version that I do want. So let's open that terminal. We'll close that terminal window. I'm just going to open a new terminal, and I'm now going to say rvm install and the version that I want. So yeah, 3.1.0, that's the particular version in this case. So rvm install 3.1.0, I'm just going to enter that, and we will let that run. Okay, so RVM has now installed Ruby version 3.1.0 for me. That's completed. The final thing I need to do is just tell my system to use that 3.1.0 version of Ruby as my default for everything that I do. I can change that in the future, but for now, that's what I want. So I'm going to use this command here. So rvm use, and then the version number, and then minus default. Okay, so we pop back, open our terminal window. Here we go. So rvm use 3.1.0 minus default. There we go. That's all done. So I can now simply do ruby -v, and it tells me right here Ruby 3.1.0. All right, so I'm all set up. I have RVM, I have the version of Ruby that I want, and I can now use RVM in the future to install other versions of Ruby as and when I need to change for any particular reason. RVM is the central way that I do that. I can have multiple versions of Ruby installed, but RVM, or the Ruby version manager, and the use of that command, RVM use, and then the version number, and then minus default, is the way of selecting the specific version of Ruby that for that current time period. That's what I'm going to want to use. All right, so for now I'm good to go.